Here is everything you need to know about Critical Role Campaign 4. Campaign 4 of Critical Role will be using Dungeons & Dragons, and not Daggerheart, proving that Critical Role will remain a multi-game company. I am genuinely shocked and surprised that they're not using Daggerheart instead, but I think it's fantastic that they are going to keep on using D&D to tell these stories. The campaign will have the entire founding cast of Critical Role, as well as several other new players. Brennan Lee Mulligan, as we know, will be the Dungeon Master, and Campaign 4 will be using D&D's 2024 core rules, as well as some homebrew from Darrington Press's own Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins. And it features Critical Role founders Laura Bailey, Taliesin Jaffe, Ashley Johnson, Matthew Mercer, Liam O'Brien, Marisha Ray, Sam Riegel, and Travis Willingham, alongside Luis Carazo, Robbie Daymond, Aabria Iyengar, Whitney Moore, Alex Ward, and this cast will traverse the new world of Aramán in a West Marches style approach to gameplay, which is exciting. The world of Aramán has a growing darkness. 70 years ago, the Shapers cut down the 7 Lords of Creation. This is where the gods were really focused on themselves rather than assisting the world, and the world of Aramán fought back, and the gods lost and died, and this has affected how magic works, how the afterlife works. A West Marches style game means for the campaign that the cast is so large that the story will be told around 3 different tables, culminating in one gigantic story in this new world. These tables will be split between 3 types. Soldiers. These are players who really gravitate towards an interesting combat, charged storytelling, where there are very few non-violent solutions. Seekers, which is really linked to lore, magic, big questions about the universe, gods, demons, fairies. And then there's the Schemers. This is all about intrigue, skullduggery, cloak and dagger, politics. You know, the threat can be within your own hometown. There are 5 core themes that Brennan mentions that will be in Campaign 4. These themes are swords, conflict, combat, danger, bravery, family, which is all about deep relationships, deep bonds, and love, death, which is, about finality, magic, which is all about everything that's possible in the universe. And Brennan also mentions that the 5th theme is kissing. Brennan says everyone loves kissing in fantasy. Campaign 4 will premiere with instant access on Beacon TV, as well as being streamed on Critical Role's YouTube and Twitch channels on October 2nd. You can also watch their full announced video on Critical Role's own channels. Here's my reaction to all of this news that we just got from Campaign 4, and it's a lot of news. I am really overjoyed and excited that the entire founding cast of Critical Role is back. I know there's a lot of speculation from a lot of folks, a lot of concerns that not all cast members would be moving on to Campaign 4. I'm glad that's not true. Having Matt Mercer as a player is a fantastic way to avoid burnout for any Dungeon Master, so it's great for him, and it's going to be great to see him as a player. He'll still be game mastering Age of Umbra 2, which will be fantastic. The set looks gorgeous, obviously. I think it's an incredibly ambitious game, and I think Brennan Lee Mulligan he's constantly dungeon mastering, both on and off screen. I can't think of someone better suited for this type of game. Like this, I also think this is going to be amazing to watch in live play form, and I'm actually really curious how they're going to intersperse these episodes together to tell these stories, and even how they edit between them. I'm curious, is this going to be a set episode here and a set episode there, or are they going to blend them where they matter? Are they going to take resources from each other? Is a certain area in part of the story going to be destroyed, and the next group that shows up finds evidence of the other group? Stuff like that will be really fun. I did run a similar campaign many years ago, just like this in a way. It had 14 people, and we had this finale at the very end that was completely unhinged, because we had all of these different plot lines all coming together in one big, epic final episode. It was so fun, and the humor that came out of that, and the drama, and the epicness was just insane. This is really similar to things that you see in any type of book or movie that you read today. So really this form for a West Marches style, you've been absorbing that in fiction for a long time. Anytime you break up protagonists in a novel or a movie or a TV series, and they have different perspectives that eventually come together, that's kind of West Marches, really. And getting to do that in a live play show is kind of the dream. It's something I've always wanted to do. So seeing Brennan Lee Mulligan pull this off will be so fun. And then you get this wide array of casting characters. And I love that things are broken down, that we have these very specific themes that we're hitting in fantasy, and that each table is gravitating towards something they really enjoy, like something that's very combat focused, something that's really about the nature of reality and being scoundrels and being involved in politics. Having those three different groups will allow three very different games to be played in a single campaign. So kind of the genres are going to keep on switching up, possibly week to week, depending on how they structure this. Is not going to be boring. I think Brennan's going to kill it, and I think the performers are going to absolutely love this game. I'm so down, and I'm very excited for October 2nd, how this all comes together. And when you get to do a game like this with a West Marches style, it's so focused on the world itself, and it's so rapid with its world building, because you are hopping from so many different locations and telling so many different stories from different, frankly, walks of life. So you could be at the upper echelons of this world to down on the streets, finding out what's actually going down. That kind of stuff is going to be really, really fun. You'll be finding out maybe how the very nature of magic works, and now that the gods are dead, where are they? Or are all of the gods dead? Like, there's so many mysteries that they can dive into in this type of story. So that's all speculation on my part. It's just that they have so many opportunities for really heightened storytelling with a structure like this. So I think that would be really fun. I mean, when the campaign that I ran, I separated people very much into, like, these are the rebels for one game. These are the shady scoundrels for another game. So they dealt with more of, a lot what we're talking about here, a lot more cloak and dagger. Frankly, just the seedier side of things, smuggling, crime, that sort of thing. And then we had this more imperial group that were kind of the baddies, and they were the baddies that were realizing that they were the baddies. They were the good people within a very evil system that were slowly realizing, or were already actively trying to fight the system within. And so having those three groups come together at the very end for the finale, I had to have actually assistant dungeon masters helping me in that game, because we'd have combat over here and we'd have role playing over there, and it was just such a huge group to keep things moving all around one table at one moment. It took quite a bit, but it was absolutely epic and cooked my brain, but made for some absolutely amazing gaming. It was, like I said, so fun. So I think this is going to be an amazing campaign for sure. It's definitely not going to be boring, so I'm really excited what they bring for this. Those are my thoughts on Campaign 4. I'm delighted, frankly. I'm also excited that they're going to keep on playing Dungeons & Dragons. I really thought they were going to shift completely over to Daggerheart, but it'll be great to see these new 2024 subclasses getting used in those books, and yeah, I think it's going to be a really great time. Another huge thing about the style of this game that I am so curious about, and I'm not going to find out for years, is what will Campaign 4 look like as an animated series if they end up getting one? And I assume they are, but to have this big epic scope and have all these different groups coming together and putting that into an animated series will be amazing. I just really already want to see the animated version of Campaign 4. And that will be years from now, but I think it will be worth the wait. And it will be kind of fascinating to watch Campaign 4 a little bit with that in my imagination. How will this be animated? How will this be cut into maybe a more cinematic experience or a TV series experience? That will be a lot of fun. So a plotline like this will make for an epic animated series, or any series, frankly. So that is going to be something we'll have to wait on, but I am very excited to see. If you like this video and you want to support more, like, subscribe, ring the bell, send a thanks, comment, or you can also go to my Patreon, which helps fund video content like this, allows me to conduct interviews, fly around the country. It allows me to make playtest material for Dungeons & Dragons as well, and Daggerheart. Thank you so much for watching. Have an excellent day.